Good morning and welcome back to Ultras 11. It's been a minute since I actually had to say that, So I don't know if I think I might be a little bit nervous right now. But I'm still Joe.
And I'm still Al.
And we haven't been doing this. We took a
little bit of a sabbatical, but we're back now.
Me and Al needed a little bit of time away.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time with each other. It was we went on a break, basically, if you were wondering.
Just like the soccer players during the summertime, we needed a vacation.
Yeah.
We needed to go on holiday.
Some people would say. I didn't go on vacation. Yeah. I'll send fucking vacations all the time. Me.
You had to get some work done.
Yeah.
But the 2 weeks, it was well needed. We got our rest, and now we're going full force into this thing again. The soccer season's coming, and
it's true, actually. A couple more weeks, Prem starts.
It's happened a lot faster than fucking I expected, man. Like 2 weeks ago, I feel like 2 weeks ago we were just talking about it ending, and now we're back.
And I'm still waiting for Roma to spend $1.50.
That'll come soon. Don't worry.
Probably not. But anyways, there is a lot we actually do have to catch up on. But before I catch up, and we catch up, sorry, not I. Today's random fact of the day is
my favorite part.
Did you know a blue whale's heartbeat can be heard over 2 miles away? Just kind of like how I heard Al, even though he was in another country. In another country.
That shit's deep.
Because they're crying out.
That kind of got me, guys. I think we need a minute right now.
Anyways, so we did miss a lot of soccer news, a lot of different transfers. The summer series happened. Lots of friendlies. Canadians women. They got knocked out today. That's literally right now.
Stink.
I was gonna say the Women's World Cup, very entertaining. Actually, I will say. There is a lot going on, so we've been entertained.
I don't know if it was just you, but like during this whole break, like I've been still following everything that's been going on. But buddy, the itch I've been having, just to finally sit down and do this again and talk to like everything that's just been going on, man. I've been dying to get.
It's weird. All I've had to talk about this with, like anything football related, is my dog or my dad, and my dad always ends up doing the same thing. Joseph, what are you gonna do?
Start talking to my fiance about it. So I'm gonna fuck off. I
don't have one of those.
I need Joe's. That's what I need. I need Joe so I can have my conversations with.
And we're back here.
We're back better than ever, baby.
I don't know about better. I'm still
we're better, but Season 2's here, man. We're better than ever.
It's true, actually. There is going to be a lot of content coming up
Road to World Cup 2026. We'll be there. Remember that.
I had to think about that. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? What's
going to be
there? But yeah, I figured once you finished off your sentence. Anyways, we're going to try to catch up a little bit for you guys. But the one thing I want to talk about today for sure, that's on the the itinerary.
Forget this. We're still figuring it out.
We've talked about this before, so we don't want to harp on it too much. But I feel like it's something that a lot of people are discussing right now. So, I want to have a discussion. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen Al, so there's a lot of stuff I could say. But I want to talk about this whole Saudi Arabia takeover. And I know, again, we've harped on it. We've mentioned that we think it could be the new Super League. We mentioned all this other stuff with it.
But in the last 2 weeks, I think they've really become the Super League.
I think they're at what,
over in the last
43 signings or 46, something like that. At first, it kind of started off as like potentially a retirement home. You see, like for big money. You see Ronaldo going there, Conte, Benzema, like whatever. But now you're starting to see even like middle-aged people go there, and there's a few question marks and some of the questions just start arising, and you start thinking like for me at least personally, I'm starting to think, fuck, is this more than just a retirement home like the Chinese league was, like other league. Stuff like that. So Al, my question to you is, do you see it as a threat to the other leagues?
I mean, clearly, like there's like they're a big threat because throughout the years we already saw this kind of stuff happen because Serie A was a punching bag. Serie A, they didn't have any money, so every year was the same thing. Whether it was La Liga, they didn't have money, but somehow they still came in and spent money on in Serie A. Mm-hmm. The Prem was like they were the most known for it. Some guy would have half a good season, they come in 80 mil, and they would just throw it at him, and a team's not going to say no, especially teams in Italy that are all in debt. So now those teams in the Prem they have someone that's actually bigger than them and has a lot more money than them and is coming and picking them apart. And now they're like, whoa, what the fuck? And for me, that's good for them because they were all against the whole Super League. Now they might start pushing towards, hey, you know what? Maybe the Super League thing wasn't a bad idea because we're not going to be able to keep up with the Saudi league if they keep going like this.
Yeah.
And especially if they start getting, if they get allowed, a couple teams in the Champions League or stuff like that, like, buddy, league soccer is ruined. The only thing like a saving grace is, everyone's praising that whole Mbappe. It takes a big guy. I just really show. I like him a lot more now. Realistically, man, and you knew this from when Mbappe first played that first game when he was 15. The guy, he's built like mentally, he's built like a Messi and Ronaldo. He's a competitor. He wants to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
When people talk soccer in 20 years, he wants to be the Mbappe is the GOAT, hands down.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to be the conversation. So obviously he's not going to go to Saudi Arabia at the age of 23. And
He's
I get it. Okay, still, I get it for a year, but he's going to make quadruple that money that they offered him throughout his career. Plus, he'll probably end up there at the end of his career if the Saudi League keeps going like this. So I don't think they have like the full, pull that, they would like, or people think that they're going to have yet. But I mean, seeing what they did just in this one transfer window is absolutely like scary for all teams on all fronts, because nobody's safe.
Man. Like for me, like I look at it and it's like, to me, I always I'm the guy that I pride myself on, like loyalty, heart, this, that, follow your heart, whatever. And I always get told that's a thing of the past. It's all about money nowadays. And if you have a league, not even just a team, a league like this that is offering lucrative contracts like that to even average guys that they're getting 20 mil a year, 30 mil a year, that's generational money.
Yeah.
Like you look at a lot of the South American players, you look at a lot of the African players, they come from poverty. Maybe even some of the European players. I'm not saying that Europe is like this beautiful place to live in, but I'm just saying like it's more whatever. And, like you offer that kind of money to those guys, like they'd be stupid to look at you and say, no, fuck off. I'm not taking it. They could literally play soccer for one more year and then say, all right, I'm done. I'm retiring. Yeah. And like for me, like it's scary because now you just see like Serie A, like what was their biggest thing? Sorry. They were able to get these young kids from South America, maybe flip them in the future, like Udinese would always do. Roma even did it for a while, like stuff like that. Now that's going to go down the drain because what are they going to accept? $20 from Roma or 40 million from Saudi Arabia because they're up and coming, So I don't know. For me, I just think it's a very scary thing. Mm-hmm. And I do see it as a massive threat.
And especially because a lot of people are comparing it to like, look at the Chinese league or look at the Russian league and how they ended up. Mm. But go back and look. They never signed this amount of players.
Yeah.
All the teams in the Chinese league, when they tried doing it in the Russian league, both times, the let's say 5 biggest teams, if even that, would go out and sign, 2 to 5 players, if 5.
Yeah, and they weren't even of a decent stature, though.
Like Luis Gustavo.
Yeah,
Hulk.
like was it really that crazy?
Hulk was good on Porto, but he wasn't like a generational player or a guy that was like, made a name for himself throughout his career and then went there.
Yeah.
They picked up these guys that were, whatever, paid them stupid money, and that's it. They didn't care to, other teams to get in and start buying these players. So they didn't care to grow the league. Yeah. Like, they just had money and they were like, okay, let's try to, bring some talent here that, kind of get some traction to us.
Yeah.
And that's why it just never took off. It never worked. But they also don't have the money that Saudi Arabia has.
Saudi Arabia too, like they're building like a whole league almost. They have like a 4-tier system that's already like an improvement from a lot lot of startup leagues.
But you see now like what they're like the 4th division, like what they're like these
they're offering them $4,000 a week.
$4,000 and a house fully paid and a supercar that comes with the house. Like as a young player, like you're gonna look at that and if you got the proper like agent and everything and the steps to take to get there and you're okay, moving away from that, but you could set yourself up perfectly. You go over there, who's gonna think about going to the MLS or to Europe or to whatever to go and start from the youth academy and probably never get a chance? Well, at least over there you'll probably get a chance because you might be better than a lot of the players there coming up, and you're gonna be making a stupid amount of money for like the age that you are going there, playing in a 4th division.
Yeah.
That's
the thing, man.
That's what's really scaring me is that like they're like kind of starting to cover all fronts, and they're gonna like in a couple of years, man. Like I can't see Saudi Arabia stopping unless something comes like UEFA or something comes in, which I can't because most of the UEFA now is linked with Saudi.
Yeah,
I can't really see them being stopped.
Well, do you think like within like let's just say hypothetically, ideal world, whatever. Let's say in 10 years, Saudi Arabia, they actually cemented themselves as like a top league. A lot more talent is going there, this, that, whatever. They have a whole youth system in place, blah, 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 whatever. could you see them somehow? I don't know how it would happen. So I'm just saying, again, wishful thinking type of thing. Could you see them somehow joining up with European football and like joining the Champions League, Europa League, and stuff like that? I don't think it's possible because it's European, obviously, 2 separate continents. But like, do you think they could have that much power eventually and money and whatever that they could maybe coerce their way into it?
I mean, like I can see UEFA doing that if the Super League actually becomes a thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And if they lose all those teams, you know what I mean? They're gonna try to be like, okay, how can we save it? Then you're gonna start seeing they might let 2 MLS teams in, and then teams from Saudi in, and it's gonna become, instead of a European competition, it's gonna be like a world. They're trying to make it like a world competition of like the world's best teams, but then all those actual good teams from Europe are all going to be in the European Super League doing their own thing. Because this was, I feel like, the right push, especially for the Premier League teams, because they, for money, for the longest time they were like, no one's gonna touch us. No one could, like, we don't need to join some Super League. We got the money. We can buy anybody we want. Now they're getting a little bit scared because people are coming in with more money than them.
Yeah.
So now I feel like that's going to be like the right push for that, and that's where I can see Saudi coming in. Other than that, like I can't see, UEFA and bringing in like a Saudi league teams to the like Champions League, Europa League, all that stuff, unless like a change like that happens.
Yeah. Well, Ronaldo recently came out. I'm kind of glad you also brought up MLS briefly, because now, segue, Ronaldo recently brought up how, he went to Saudi Arabia and he kind of changed the game. He opened up the door and now everyone's following him, and look at the chain of events he caused, even though he doesn't realize these guys are getting $100 million to go there. But regardless, thanks, Ronaldo, for literally nothing.
Jordan Henderson got offered quadruple his wages from Liverpool.
Yeah,
but no, it's because Ronaldo went there that's why he made the choice.
Like maybe you made it more acceptable. Yeah. Cool. But anyways, Messi, while we were all away, well, not all of us, but us, Messi joined up with Inter Miami. He joined Inter Miami, and the $1 million question that I have is, and we won't harp on this for too long, but who do you think has a bigger impact for like the respective league, and like I guess you could say like more globally as well? Ronaldo joining Saudi Arabia or Messi joining Inter Miami?
I mean, in like the league aspect of it, like, see, that's like you said, Ronaldo, him going there, it didn't, attract players that now all of a sudden all these guys are going there because of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But I think he kind of like everyone, because these teams have already tried offering for people. Just kind of everyone was kind of hesitant.
Yeah. And
I feel like him taking that step and, going there, I feel like opened up a lot of people to say, okay, you know what? I don't give a fuck. If Ronaldo's accepting to go over there, I'll take the money and I'll go over there, and hey, you know what? Whatever. I'll enjoy the last couple of years making a shit ton of money. As with like Messi, he's not the first guy to go there, especially a big name to go to the MLS as like that, that the retirement, like, you spend your last couple of years there and finish off. Like they've had big names. They've had Ibra go there and he went back to Europe. They had David Beckham, who, he kind of started that MLS, like, hey, they're not so bad. Like, maybe people will consider that to go there when, when they reach that age where they can't play in Europe anymore and they can't give it their best, but they still want to play. So with like, I don't know, to have the bigger impact, obviously in globally soccer wise, I think it was Messi. Because at the end of the day, once you get like big in the States, that's like you'll be blown out everywhere. Yeah. Like the States love to do things fucking big and special, and like you saw Messi's presentation, like it was like the most watched presentation,
and it's broadcasted.
It was broadcasted. It's broadcasted more. They love bringing that attention. And I think like that with Messi, he'll bring more of that than Ronaldo just because of Saudi Arabia, but. Like, as for, like, looking at both leagues and what's making it more attractive, like, again, people are going to look at it and be like, if they're at that point in their career, do I want to go play in the MLS and, try out playing in the States now? And, hey, I get to play against Messi or play with Messi? Yeah, sure. But then you're looking at Saudi Arabia and be like, hey, you know what? I get to play. There's a lot of players that have moved there. I can make a shit ton of money. And, I can finish off my career on a high note.
Yeah.
And kind of look like that. So I don't think either of them have made an impact on the leagues. But globally, I would say I think Messi has made
has,
more of an impact with the like this move to the MLS rather than Ronaldo to Saudi.
I think with Messi going to like it's two different ends, right? I feel like Ronaldo going to Saudi made it acceptable for people to just play for the money.
Yeah.
And now it's not judged because Ronaldo did it, right? Messi going to the MLS though, I think it sheds light on the MLS in regards to like it's not that bad if one of the greatest of all time is coming to play here. Even if he is old and whatever it is, you know, like it still kind of puts them in that light where it's like, hey, look, like we were attractive enough that we got this guy. Would you rather the club dinner life here in Miami? I don't know, whatever, the nice weather, the beaches and stuff like that, or the desert of Saudi Arabia? Like, you know, maybe I sound uncultured there. That's fine. Judge me. I don't care. But, you know, like to me, like it just kind of, I think it gives more of a benefit to MLS. And now people will look at that and, you know, whether they look at it as a retirement home for a lot of legends, cool, fine. But I think it will also shed light on like youngsters being okay with playing there. Cause it's like, wait, dude, I could see Messi. You know, like it's a different thing. Like now I could grow there. You've already seen some of these like young kids there playing well and like being shopped around in Europe.
That's what I'm saying. In the last, like what, maybe, probably less than 10 years, but I would say in the last 10 years, look how many players have actually, you know, got attention from the MLS, have gotten brought into Europe at whatever stages, with a mid-table team in Germany, or, you know, Alphonso Davies going straight to Bayern Munich. Like, they're getting the notice, they're getting traction. People are looking at that league, not like, oh yeah, it's you know, it's whatever. It's a shitty Canadian league that, you know, no one cares about, and you know, or sorry, North American league, not Canadian, but North American league, and you know, it's whatever. They don't know how to play. They call it soccer over there. They don't know how to actually play. There's guys there that, you know, they got some ballers, man. Like they know how to play, and like they can definitely play on some of these, you know, teams in Europe and these bigger teams. It's just before they weren't even looked at. They weren't even given a chance. Now they are, and you know, with Messi, it's going to make, I feel like, the competition in the league too better, and you're going to in the next, like probably in the next year or so, you're probably going to see some names come over to the States.
Yeah.
Like you already saw, I mean, they rebuilt Barca pretty much with that team with Busquets and Alba. Now they're trying to bring in Iniesta for a year.
I saw Suarez too.
Apparently Suarez, that's not happening anymore.
Something about European passport or whatever.
Yeah, like, sure. Wait.
Cheated on an Italian, on Italian time, so you can't come here now.
Yeah, so he kind of messed up for himself.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to say about that because again, I'm not as well versed.
No, but
like,
there's only so much you can say, man. Like you're looking at it from both ways. Like like the MLS now, it's not going to become like, you know, some powerhouse league because Messi's there, and neither is Saudi. Saudi's going to be its own thing because at the end of the day, they got the money to pay for, like, to pretty much convince these guys to go there. Because other than that, like,
I mean, the $1 million moment for Saudi, like the make or break time would be in 2030, right? In 2030, that's like when apparently the money's going to stop coming from Mohammed bin Salman. I don't know if I said that right. Sorry if I'm offending people. Not
at the end of the day, they want the traction on their country. They want, you know, to grow soccer there. They want to have the World Cup there. You know, now in the next couple of years, like they're going to be pumping money into the leagues, into buying players, into making like soon you're going to have a team full of like all European players. Yeah, on some of those Saudi teams, because that's just what they're going to, like, they're just going to buy guys and just build a whole team like Ultimate Team instead of growing players.
Well, that's what it comes down to, right? Like, again, for me, like it's a big cultural shock too, right? Like you see these European players going and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. For me, like I think they'll also hit a point where it's like it's so different, right? It's a brand new way of life. You know, in Europe, like there's some similarities between Italy, Portugal, Spain, Germany, like stuff like that. But there, it's like a brand new world. Yeah, just as it is for North America. Yeah, like, you know. But speaking of Europe, there's something I actually want to talk to you about, and like I don't mean to get you mad. I don't know if you will get mad, but. Dude, Juve is not in conference league either.
That was other news I found out on, I think it was the day I got back from vacation.
I will say I kind of like what you guys did. I'm going to be honest with you. It's smart.
People are pissed off about it. You know, other fans, I see them making fun or, you know, they're chirping. What are you chirping about? Okay. We barely made, the whole point is like we should have been in Champions League.
Yeah.
Whatever. That happened. We weren't. We ended up finishing a conference league spot. Okay. Yeah. Hey, great. We're in Europe still. You know, I didn't like that from the beginning. I'm like, well, it's a waste of a year. We're going to go in conference league. We're going to try to, then it's going to get to the point where, you know, let's say we make it to the quarters. Then it's like, okay, if Juve doesn't win this, you know, they're shit, or no, it's not worth it or whatever. And then they're going to be not focusing on the league. At least with this, they fuck the conference league because it's not a competition. I'm sorry. Like, I know you guys won it. It was good for you guys because you guys didn't win a trophy in a long time.
And that's all we have today, guys.
But
Thank you.
Joe, it's not a team that you're
No,
imagine Real Madrid being in the conference.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to be in there. They're going to play in it.
No, I get what
they'd probably just, hey, guys, we're going to pull our ballot. We're not going to play in the conference. Like, they'd probably do something like that because teams don't care for that, especially like bigger teams. For me, that was the best move they did. They said, okay, fuck the final. Okay, that plus $20 million fine was kind of fucked up, but that's UEFA just trying to fuck Juve because Chefrin hates us. But that's a whole another topic. This thing here was the best thing that could happen for this season, especially because there's all the pressure on Allegri right now. We had 2 seasons that we went trophyless. We didn't win anything. We barely made Europe last year. I wouldn't even count it, especially with the points thing. It would have been better if we didn't. Now this year's the real test for him. He has the league and he has Coppa Italia. Obviously, I wouldn't just be happy with just Coppa Italia and out of top 4. This guy, for me, my expectation now with this team, especially if we make a couple of signings for what we need for the team, minimum, especially you're not on the competitions, top 2 and Coppa Italia.
I don't know.
I want them to win. I want them to win the Scudetto, but hey, you know what?
Listen, I will be honest with you, and this is a rare thing for me to ever admit, say whatever. Man, a lot of these teams in Serie A, like, Milan lost a huge part of their thing, and this is kind of where we slide over the confirmed transfers and stuff like that. But Milan lost a huge part in Maldini, like massive backroom staff figure, like, he's that guy. And then within the same week, the Tonali rumor circulated, and he was gone. But Milan has spent that money very, very well, in my opinion. Like, I hate admitting that because it's Milan, and some of their fans are just plastic little twerps. I'm talking about you who said go United or whatever you even fucking said. Now you're on the bandwagon again.
He's a United fan.
Yeah, he's a United fan, but now he's going back to Milan because the boys are cooking. Fuck you, pair. Grow up. But no, they've made some good signings. They addressed key areas. Like, obviously, replacing Tonali is going to be tough. But they signed that guy, Reinders. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Whatever. I think he's good. They also got Musa. I think that was confirmed 2 days ago or yesterday, something like that. Pulisic, Chukwueze, Okafor, Loftus-Cheek, and Romero. Romero was free. Oh, and Spartiello, but like he's a backup goalie because you're not replacing Magnan. But you see the guys they got, like it's finally addressing problemed areas. And it's not like before under Maldini, whereas, Brahim Diaz, you're doing well for us, but we only have you on loan. Yeah. They sold Tonali, and it's hard to, like, I hate that sale, sorry. But in saying that, they at least got money for him. Yeah. Unlike Donnarumma, Kessie, Çalhanoğlu, like I said,
they made 80 mil off a guy that wasn't even their top 3 player.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you know what I mean?
For them, like, it sucks because it's especially for like the Italian Milan fans because, Tonali was like, oh, dude, he was like the future captain.
Yeah.
He's Italian. Like, you saw that he had the passion. Like, he actually loved Milan. Like, he said no to other teams because he only wanted Milan in Italy. Like,
there's a rumor he still actually hasn't even smiled in Newcastle. Nobody knows if this is confirmed. Is but yeah, no, I think Juve finishing top 2. Like, yeah, you only have the one competition to focus on, but like Milan strengthened very well. Inter too, as much as I fucking
even with Milan too. Like, I feel like
I hate Inter.
Like, okay, yeah, they spent the money wisely. They bought a lot of like young and promising guys, and some guys that have kind of proven themselves or shown kind of what they could do, what they're capable of, but just didn't get haven't gotten the chance yet for it. But then this reminds me so much of I forgot, I don't know if it was 20. I'm sure going on a limb, say like 2016 Milan when they signed Bonucci, they signed they had Romagnoli already. But they bought like 8 or 9 guys, and it was like the most random signings. But it was guys that you heard of, and they were good, they were doing well, and all this stuff. And then each one of them was just worse than the next guy, and just had a bad season. And I feel like a lot of these guys, like, don't get me wrong, like Pulisic, guy's a phenomenal player, but the biggest problem of him, he's made out of glass. See, he had that problem with Dortmund, he had the problem with Chelsea. No one said he's a bad player. He is inconsistent when he plays, like, a lot of the times. But when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
It's just he's made out of glass. I don't trust that.
A team like Milan could afford for him to be a little inconsistent,
I know, but when you're trying to address problems and you're trying to spread the money out instead of, spending more on, guys that are kind of more guarantees, but you gotta pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're kind of going to, spending a little bit less and just kind of trying to buy more with the money instead of, getting better players. So like for me, like a lot of those, like Loftus-Cheek, I watched the game against Juve too. He played okay, but I can't see him coming in and completely and replacing like Tonali and being that midfielder for Milan. Like there's a reason why he never got the chance. He couldn't break into Chelsea starting 11, and he could never take that next step in his career. Like he looked good, coming up, like this guy's very promising, but I feel like he just could never take that step. And that's where for me that I'm not sold on him. Romero, I know very little about, so like I couldn't even tell you. I think he's getting loaned out from what I've seen too. I think so, but whatever. I'm not gonna say too much about him. Okafor, no, I haven't heard anything from him. I just keep seeing that video when he fucking turned inside out Tomori, and I'm pretty sure that's why they bought him, because literally just all I've seen. I typed in Okafor on TikTok and I saw that video 4 times. So that's what I'm pretty sure. Reinders, I've during like that Juve game, I kind of like his style. I kind of like him. But again, he's gonna have to, you got to see in a game situation. Like said, it's a different competition.
Yeah, it's more of a game of chess.
You can either you make it or you're gonna flop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I'm interested to see kind of him. Chuck Weezy, I feel like he's just gonna be like a shitty Gervinho.
Right.
Like I think he's fast, but I don't like. I've seen him. He got stopped by Alexandro when we faced him.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's
Alexandro, like I feel like me and you can go past him with our broken knees.
I don't think I can.
But. No, dude, he is like. You know how much I hate Alexandro. And like, dude, Alexandro was stopping him, Chuck Weezy. You got to buy him once.
No, I think with me and Chuck Weezy, like I feel like everybody's like gassing that signing up to be like, man, that's like, the best one.
Dude, if anything, gas up your fucking the Pulisic signing.
I'll be honest with you. I think that actually may be the most, like that's the biggest question mark for me, because he's good. I think he's a good player. He's fast, he's explosive, whatever. But like, I don't know. For me,
Leone almost bought all 3 of the jerseys with his name on it.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I feel like if anybody there could be the flop and the most disappointing, it would be a guy like that.
Yeah.
Because why wasn't another top team interested in him?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you've been on this team. Oh, he had a good season. You turned Real Madrid inside out. Okay, and Lamela scored a Rabona from outside the box. Does that mean he's a god? No. There's glimpses of brilliance, yes, but it doesn't matter about that. Like, it matters more like your consistency, what you're offering when you're not doing when you're not having those games. Like, look at Leao. Sometimes he's inconsistent, but his inconsistency is still a dangerous man because he runs at you once. Yeah. He puts you on skates. Will Chuck Weezy have that same effect? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know with him. He's gonna be the one that I'm gonna keep my eye on this season probably the most, just because like
let's get real. He's gonna fucking run down the line. Oh no, I know he is. And Mancini's gonna fucking snap his ankles. Game over. RIP. Gets sent back.
Mancini's the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh, he said something wrong to him. He's such a butcher. Grow up, dude.
I'll be the one saying that.
No, you'll be on my side this time, I think. Inter strengthened though as well.
Did they though?
You know what? They Inter's transfer strategy.
I'm sorry.
I know why you guys fucking hate them. They literally look at what every team in Italy wants and says, "Yeah, we'll get him now and him." And we'll do the same thing.
So, explain to me where you think they strengthened.
Mid. I'd honestly say mid because of Fratesi. I think the world of Fratesi, and I think somehow in a roundabout weird way, losing Lukaku and Dzeko and bringing in Thuram was actually like it's a gamble with Thuram. But in saying that, I think it's a strength too, because like his versatility, you saw when he is good how good he could be, and I think his versatility would be more key for it all.
But the thing is, he's still very, for me at least, injury prone and unproven.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay, yeah, he played in Germany, but where else did he play that he had? The competition that he was put into these into like challenges that he had to overcome.
Yeah, no, I agree.
He hasn't, and now he's with a big team. It's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Lukaku, okay, yeah, for how shit he was, and he's probably going to end up on my fucking team now. But at least you knew, like you look at his numbers, he guaranteed you goals. He guaranteed you his numbers. If he wasn't scoring, he was assisting Lautaro.
Yeah,
he was doing something. For as shit as he was and how much I hate him, he was at least doing something. Thuram, you don't know what he's gonna do. He could go off, or he could just be an absolute flop. For me, I don't think that I still think they lost 2 experienced guys. One, being a little bit more like that veteran on your team, and you replace them with someone that's younger, doesn't have experience. Now you have him and Lautaro up top, and I feel like that's going to go south very quick throughout the season. Maybe not off the bat. Inter always starts off like fucking guns blazing. So like they'll probably win 5-0 the first 3 games and be like, oh, dude, our team's sick. And then just die after that.
As long as Fratesi doesn't score.
Fratesi, going to him now. My next target, I think he's going to do very well. I think it was the wrong choice for him to go there because I don't think in that system he's going to flourish.
I agree.
And I also don't think he's going to be able to do the things and replace what he was doing on Inter and how he fit on that midfield, what Brozovic was doing.
Yeah. Because
Brozovic he had a good understanding and he played very, very well with Hakan and with Barella.
Yeah.
They had a good thing going. And, Frattesi's going to take some time. Like, I'm confident in it. I'll give it a little bit more just because, the Italian factor. I got a hope for my boy. I still like him. But he's another iffy. The biggest thing for me, which this is why I think, honestly, Inter out of top 4 this year.
What's his name?
Who?
What's his name?
Whose name?
Oh,
nah. You almost got me there. I was like, whose name? Like, who am I forgetting about? You kind of fucked up my train of thought. But they lost Onana, which was a fucking 12th man on that field. The guy
12th
was...
man?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Sorry. He was the... No, yeah, he was the 12th man.
11th man.
No, the 12th, because he was the 11th man. He's the goalie, but he's a 12th man because he can also play with his feet.
Oh,
yeah, stop fucking me up. Stop talking when I'm talking.
All right, sorry, my bad.
I seen it online. I'm like, wow, this makes a lot of sense because we're also the 12th man.
No, we're the 13th then. If you want to speak like this.
Only for on Onana's teams.
Oh, okay, yeah, deal.
Not on Onana's team. We're the 12th man. Yeah. Besides the 12th or 13th man. Going back to what I was saying, but also Onana, who was literally the perfect ball playing goalie, and just like I don't know, man. He won Inter games like single handedly and robbed teams so many times and saved Inter. And now they got rid of that. Okay, yeah, they made 50 mil. Well, big whoop. Fucking goalies sell for more. Like, that's not really that impressive.
Yeah, it's not that.
And they're replacing him with 34-year-old Sommer, which... Okay,
no, it's not even confirmed.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's who they're trying to go for. So, I mean, let's just say that does happen. Okay, yeah, so, he's experienced. He's a good goalie, but you're replacing him and Handanovic, who was too old to replace him with a 34-year-old goalie. What is the
well,
sense
their original game plan was to get that guy from Shakhtar, Trubin. He's actually a good goalie. He's quite good, but
then they realize Steven Yang owns 300 million and they can't sign anything, and they're like, wow.
But yet, when Roma wants a player, they're able to snatch him away right away.
Now they're somehow going for Scamacca, which I don't get Inter. I really
Thank God. Honestly, my respect for West Ham went up a little bit once I seen that they rejected Inter's offer. Yeah. I'm like, good.
Inter offered like what, 20 mil for
20
him?
mil. We offered 29. But
that's what I mean. And like,
you still suck.
I don't know. Inter like this year, like I don't know. Some people are like praising their signings. Yeah, okay, they've filled some of this, like the guys that they lost. Obviously, you have to, but they're not like, especially a team like Inter that they want to. They won the league 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago. Last year, 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah.
They won the league there. They're not far off like having a championship team. They went to the Champions League final last year. Okay, people call it a fluke, but hey, you know what?
It's still there.
Sometimes you need luck, and you get there. Buddy. You got to the show. So they're not that far off, and I don't think the signings. I don't think they went forward with these signings.
I'm not going to lie to you. Actually, when I look at their signings, I would tell you I think they're good. But I never actually thought about like they lost Brozovic.
Yeah.
Who now slides into that role, and like you said, they got Fratesi. So that means is he going to be Brozovic's replacement? You saw them towards the end of the season playing with Çalhanoğlu as that role.
Yeah.
But he's also not that guy.
No.
Like
he can cover for there.
You've seen the difference when Brozovic is there. It's night and day. And like it's like you said, he can't cover him for a whole season.
No.
So out of that 3, who takes that role? Aslani is going to slide in there. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even think about that. I just thought, fuck, Fratesi's a fucking stud. No, man, I love him.
I look at this whole thing, man. Like Inter, like compare their team in the Champions League final to what they are now. Yeah, okay, they're gonna make a couple more signings, but compared to now, it's not gotten better. Like it's gotten worse. Yeah, they've made some signings, but the team's probably for me, it has gone down. I think I know Skriniar didn't play most of this, the second half of the season,
but now
Skriniar was still a massive part.
And he's still there too.
Defense. Yeah. Cherby's getting older. You think he's gonna replicate what he did last year? He's gonna get slower. Yeah, okay, but even him too. Like you can only rely on him so much because every year he's getting older and older. And
right.
Let's say this year, Darmian had a phenomenal season last year. I loved him just as much as you. From before when he was with Torino, but his age going to catch up to him. If Inter's going to start relying on him, he's going to get these stupid injuries. And then what? Then you're going to be banking on him. And you're like, oh, fuck, hey, let's stick, who are we going to put? Hey, Fratesi. We're trying out at center back today. Like, what are you going to do? I don't know. Their transfer strategy is just, let's try to stop some players from going to Milan, Juve, and Roma. And let's try to sign them before they do. And then we'll do good this year. We're going to have a good season.
So, Inter is a part of my hit list too.
Yeah.
Inter and Lazio.
We're on the same page.
Fucking bums. Losers.
Fuck Lazio. Fuck Inter.
For real, dude.
No, I feel like this season we're going to be on the same page.
Nah, let's get real. Halfway through the season, Roma and Juve will be close in points
after the first Roma Juve game.
And then I'm going to make a comment saying like, fuck you guys, you fix games that time, and then we'll be butting heads again. It's always the same thing.
We're magpies now.
Yeah, I don't know if I could be a magpie.
Why?
I don't know, man. I was watching them. They kind of cheesed me. No. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it was just like the summer series that I was like, whatever. But like,
go wait to see that Tonali
and you know what?
Bruno
honestly, I know this is going to sound really bad. I'm starting to turn on De Zerbi. He might be a merchant, man. Realistically,
I didn't think I would ever hear those words come out of Joe's
quick
mouth.
Little thing. 5-minute little rant, less than 5 minutes, actually, 2 minutes, 3 seconds. I don't know.
De Zerbi, this like, when you know it's getting deep.
When I was watching them play, the reason why it's so effective is because the other team is so stupid. They're so comfortable. They're playing out from the back. Yeah, it looks crazy good and you're composed. But it's literally just the other team being fucking stupid. Don't chase them.
Will that work, against a team like City?
Yeah, like probably not. I started thinking, I was watching it and I'm like, yeah, okay, everyone says this is so attractive. This is whatever. But realistically, it's not attractive. It's the other team's stupidity that says, oh, the ball's in their 18-yard box. Let's run at them.
Yeah.
No. Look at obviously that's why it's working because then they all press high, easy to get through because then, oh my God, we're on a one-on-one. And he trusts Matoma, who's fucking fast as grease and shit like that. Like, obviously it's going to work. So De Zerbi might be a bald fraud, even though he has spiky hair.
I still don't think so.
I don't know, man.
I still like
I think I gotta watch it more, but I was very, I don't know why. I was getting pissed.
Those are honestly like the two teams that like I actually like genuinely want to follow this year from the Prem is Newcastle, obviously because Magpies, and Brighton because De Zerbi. Like I genuinely want to like follow them and actually see, because I always see like people talking about them, and I haven't I've like last year maybe watched like with both teams like maybe like 4 games in total like fully, and like this year like I actually want to make it like a thing to like actually watch those like their games and actually see just so I can have a full on like input about him.
No, I'm obviously gonna support him because he's Italian, so I feel like I have to. And I'm like,
no, but I just honestly genuinely want to see how he does now. Like a full season with Brighton, he had the full summer to get to like with training and getting everything set up, and like I genuinely want to see how he does because like man, like that he can be the future coach. Not I'm saying they're not like national team, but like Italian coach, because now all these Italian coaches they're starting to get older and they're all fucking slowly like going away, man.
And the only good older Italian coach we have decided I'm gonna coach Brazil. Yeah. And break my heart.
Yeah. So now we gotta kind of hope for De Zerbi that he kind of turns out to something.
You know what? Every time we do this podcast, I realize how much more and more my heart breaks for certain things, man. Like,
oh man,
next you're gonna tell me Pellegrini signed with Al Hilal.
No, but I stopped. Pellegrini signed with Fulham.
A fake Pellegrini.
But he's not going to Lazio anymore.
Yeah, he's a fraud. He said Forza Lazio at one time. You're dead to me. You're Laziale. I don't ever want you to even look at Rome. Fucking bum.
Joe loses instant respect. I think say anything about Lazio.
Premier League team this year. I think I might actually watch Chelsea because that young mid. I want to see how that works. Maybe Casade actually doesn't go out on loan. Maybe he stays. I would love like that's sick.
But I feel like he would also get kind of like fucked over because like he's not gonna have the play.
I don't know, man. Like they don't really have a lot of like it's all kids in the mid. All kids.
That's true.
Enzo, Casade, Andre Santos.
They got rid of Kovacic now. They don't have.
He might be a cute little exciting team, man.
Fuck.
And Arsenal, because I love Urian Timber, so I want to see what he does. But also fuck Mikel Arteta.
Watching
after I seen that he's ranked third coach in the world.
Watching those Arsenal like guys on like TikTok, man.
Yeah, they're so cringe.
Seeing them hype up like Arsenal should do. I just want to see Arsenal burn.
Yeah, Ramsdale's actually a twat. Oh, the way every time I see videos of him, I just get irritated because it's like, ew. You literally remind me of Pickford. And Pickford sucks ass too. Like, okay, sorry. Last thing. where the fuck is Davide De Gea going?
Yo, I was asking the other day.
Come to Roma. This is my plea. You're free.
Our friend Jay, he's been on the show, the United fan.
Yeah.
The other day he came over. I asked him, because I was like, I was like, wait, hold on. I'm like, yo, did you guys like re-sign? Did you guys re-sign De Gea? Like, is he your backup? And he's like, no, he left. And I'm like, hey, he's a free agent, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, who signed him? And he's like, no one yet. Is the guy retiring?
Yeah.
Is he going? So like, how does this guy just like, hey, I'm sorry, like the last 2 years, he wasn't the best goalie, but he came up in big moments.
He's
like,
not a bad
starting goalie
either,
for United,
man.
and like he's still not that old.
If I'm Inter, that's a deal I'm looking to make. Yeah, he's free. Okay, maybe he's been a little shaky.
He has no interest right now. He's free. You could probably get him to sign a cheap deal. Perfect guy to bring.
That's what I mean.
But I'm also surprised Saudi didn't even try to go for him.
I think they did. I honestly swear I read something that they went from and he just said no. Like he wasn't down.
The guy has no offers and he's gonna say no to Saudi throwing him some stupid money.
Maybe, man. Maybe he's a man of class.
No one wants him.
How do we know that though?
I've never seen his name once.
Yeah, but maybe Fab is like, since he hasn't slept in like at least 14 weeks.
That's the one guy he forgot about.
He forgot about Davide.
He has a tweet in his drafts. He forgot to put it out.
Think about it. What if David Raya from Brentford is actually Davide De Gea?
And he's half asleep.
Yeah, like he's just dying inside and he's typing out Raya De Gea, same thing almost.
I think you might be onto something, man.
They look the same.
They don't look the same. Fuck. They're very, very similar looking.
Yeah, both Spanish.
Yeah.
So basically same but different.
Yeah, exact same.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys,
on that note of us rambling on about you guys can clearly see we've been excited. We haven't been able to fucking talk on this show and just in general about anything soccer for the last couple weeks. So feels good being back. I don't know about you, but felt good, talking and bringing the show back to life. And, hopefully we don't go on any more breaks going forward, at least now with the season coming up. Because obviously we might have a couple breaks, here and there, but
now it's more so like crunch time.
In the near future, we're going ham, as Kanye and Jay-Z would say.
Yeah. And don't let me get into my zone. I think he said that too, but then he also followed it with, I'm definitely in my zone. So I don't know what's going on with that guy.
Wait, like Mbappe, who else in Paris?
On that note, Jay-Z. You almost got me to say it there. I'm like,
we almost got canceled real quick. Guys, I love it. On that note, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for coming. We always enjoy it. If you guys haven't yet, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Subscribe to our YouTube.
Just about to say, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming out on there in the next couple of weeks. We're gonna start doing more independent videos for YouTube. So you're also gonna have the podcast weekly, and then we're gonna try to get YouTube videos as up as possible, and just some different kind of content for you guys. And let us know what you guys think about it. Give us some feedback, even about the episodes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send them in on Twitter, wherever you guys can contact us. We're always available.
Don't text me though.
Don't text.
I'm on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, don't text.
I don't want to talk to anyone.
Bitches only.
No, I don't even get that, man.
No bitches.
Cheers.
We'll see you next week, guys.
Later.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chin chin.